In this video, you will hear about the Isle of Shoals, a bunch of islands off the coast of New Hampshire and Maine. You also hear about the infamous true crime story of the Smuttynose murders. We are approaching Isle of Shoals, which is an interesting set of islands. It sits on the border of Maine and New Hampshire, and one of the islands is in New Hampshire, one of the big ones, 3 of the little ones, and then, well, 5 of the other ones are in Maine. But anyway, you have a research facility on this island here called Appledore. I don't think it's of any Harry Potter fame, but looks like there's a couple of living quarters and some boats anchored. And then you have Star Island, which will be coming up, and Smuttynose Island, which will be coming up. Now you have Star Island with a huge hotel. It's actually a religious run hotel, and they use it for retreats and getaways. I don't know. It's beautiful. It reminds me a little bit of PTL in Charlotte. And over there you have Smuttynose Island, super small island. And they're all connected with these breakwaters. Connected, I guess it's a loose term. I don't think you'd want to walk them, but they're protected. This little harbor here is protected by the breakwaters. So we're going to pick up a mooring ball and do some exploring. And here we are, anchored in Gosport Harbor. Looks like a pretty cool place, actually. It is Saturday, so there's a lot of weekenders out here hanging out, partying, getting some sun. Looks like there's people walking the rocks. Looks nice. Relaxing. I think we like it here.
Hi, that was a nice paddleboard ride. There's a pretty pool in there, though. That's a good swimming pool.
Yeah, I bet it's warm. That'd be nice. Do that tomorrow. We are on our last main island here. It's called Smuttynose, and it's in the Isle of Shoals, right off of Portsmouth Harbor. And we're going to see what we can see. Evidently, there's a murder mystery on this island, which we'll get into a little later.
This is definitely a high tide pool here, though.
High tide pool? Yeah. Okay.
That boat right there is out on the out haul.
Yep.
All that water goes away.
Yep. All right. High tide tomorrow. It means it's first thing in the morning. Ooh.
Sorry, that's good.
Ugh.
So we did an Outward Bound.
Oh.
Jump in a cold.
Yeah, well, I didn't go to Outward Bound, so.
The Isles of Shoals are a group of islands 6 miles off the coastal states of Maine and New Hampshire. The first town, Appledore, included all the isles and was incorporated on May 22nd, 1661. It was frequented by authors including Nathaniel Hawthorne, John Greenleaf Whittier, Oliver Wendell Holmes, and Sarah Orne Jewett, and the impressionist painter Childe Hassam. Today, each island is its own. Appledore Island, the largest, is 95 acres. Today, the island is the operating station of the Shoals Marine Laboratory. Formerly known as Hog Island and Farm Island, it was home to a large hotel, the Appledore House, during the 19th century. Star Island, at 46 acres, is located in New Hampshire and is the only island served by a commercial boat from the mainland. It is a religious and educational conference center. This is a preferred anchorage for sailboats staying overnight in Gosport Harbor. Smuttynose Island, at 25 acres, is allegedly the site of Blackbeard honeymoon, later for the shipwreck of the Spanish ship Sagunto in 1813, and then for the notorious 1873 murders of 2 young women. Smuttynose is not populated today, but there are 2 historic dwellings on the island. Malaga Island is a small island just to the west of Smuttynose, connected to it by a breakwater. The original breakwater was built around 1820 by Captain Samuel Hurley, who supposedly paid for construction with proceeds from 4 bars of pirate silver that he found on the island. White Island is dominated by Isles of Shoals light, now automated in the keeper's house. The island hosts a coastal weather station, which frequently records sustained hurricane-force winds from nor'easter coastal storms in the winter. Seavey Island has been the site of a turn restoration project conducted by the Audubon Society of New Hampshire in recent years. Lunging Island, on the New Hampshire side of the border, formerly Londoners Island, was the site of an early trading post for codfish. Today it is privately owned. Duck Island was used as a bombing range for the U.S. Navy. It is now a wildlife sanctuary. It is home to a seal colony and has never supported a human population. Cedar Island is privately owned and connected by breakwaters to both Smuttynose Island and Star Island. Smuttynose Island is famous for the March 6, 1873 grisly murders of the late 19th century made famous in the book and film Weight of Water. On a cold March night in 1873, Smuttynose Island, remote and wind-battered off the coast of New Hampshire, became the scene of crime so brutal it will haunt New England for generations. 3 women, Maren Hontvet, her sister Karen, and their sister-in-law Anethe, settled into the only occupied home on the island, unaware that by dawn, 2 of them would be dead. Shortly after 1 a.m., an intruder slipped inside. Karen was strangled in her bed. Anethe was butchered with an axe, and only Maren managed to escape, barefoot and terrified, into the icy darkness. She hid among the rocks until daylight, clinging to life as her family's world collapsed. When the sun rose, Maren staggered across the breakwater and signaled for help. Shaken but alive, she named the killer, Louis Wagner, a German-born fisherman who once lived with the Hontvets. He knew the house, knew the women were alone, and had asked suspicious questions about their plans the very day of the murders. Her words ignited a manhunt, and soon, damning evidence began to surface. Wagner's boots matched bloody prints on the island. A blood-soaked shirt was found hidden in his boarding house outhouse. His landlady swore she saw him stashing it and returning home wet and disheveled. The day after the killings, Wagner, previously broke, suddenly had $15, the exact amount stolen from the Hontvets. Among his coins was a button Maren recognized as belonging to Karen's purse. Witnesses reported seeing him rowing a stolen dory. It stole pins worn down from a night of desperate travel. Piece by piece, the noose tightened. But Wagner denied everything. He claimed he'd been working on a fishing boat and drinking at a saloon that night, yet couldn't name the boat, the pier, or even the bar. At trial, the jury heard Maren's harrowing testimony, the blood evidence, and the witnesses who placed Wagner near the scene. He was convicted of the Smuttynose murders, and on June 25, 1875, after briefly escaping custody, Louis Wagner was hung in Maine. Even as he faced the gallows, Wagner swore he was innocent, accusing Maren of being the real killer and claiming her husband paid witnesses to frame him. Some were unnerved by his insistence, but most believed the case was clear. The murders entered legend, inspiring books, films, and even a haunting ballad, the Ballad of Louis Wagner. Today, the axe head of Feldeneve Christensen still sits on display at the Portsmouth Athenaeum, a chilling reminder of one of New England's most infamous nights of terror.
Here's the site of the cemetery where the girls that were murdered are buried, along with a few others.
Portsmouth, New Hampshire was our next stop, a regular town with friendly locals, excellent restaurants and pubs. Oh, and an abandoned Navy prison.
We hope you enjoyed this murder mystery. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram for daily updates. And of course, don't forget to subscribe on YouTube for video updates. See you out there.